She rolled her eyes right in front of everyone at the rooftop bar. Honestly, Ethan can't even plan a proper weekend away, let alone build anything that lasts. The words cut through the music and laughter like a cold wind that I didn't say anything at first. I just finished the last sip of my beer, set the bottle down gently on the high-top table, and signaled the server for my tab. The group, her friends from the design firm and their partners, went quiet, sensing the shift. I signed the receipt for my drink only, left a generous tip, and stood. "Enjoy the rest of the night," I told them calmly, nodding once to the table. Then I walked toward the elevator without looking back. Later that evening, the doorbell rang while I was pouring a glass of water in the kitchen. I opened it to find Lauren standing there, mascara streaked, clutching her purse like it was the only thing holding her together. But before she could speak, the hallway light caught the figure behind her. Someone else arriving with a warm smile and a bakery box. Lauren's mouth opened, closed, opened again. "Ethan, we need to talk." I glanced past her. "Hey, good timing," I called to the woman on the stairs. "Come on up." The new arrival stepped into the light, curious but unfazed. Lauren stared as if she'd seen a ghost. "Let me back up a little, because this didn't come out of nowhere. I'm 28. Lauren is 27. We'd been together for just over a year when everything unraveled. I own a small specialty coffee roasting company. Started it 5 years ago in a rented warehouse space on the edge of the city. We supply beans to about 40 cafes now, plus direct online sales. It's profitable, growing steadily, and I love the work. The smell of fresh roasts in the morning still makes me happy. Lauren is a senior graphic designer at a trendy agency downtown. She's talented, driven, and surrounded daily by people who wear expensive sneakers ironically and talk about brand campaigns the way others talk about sports. When we met, she thought the coffee thing was charming. "It's so authentic," she used to say, taking photos of my roastery for her stories. Like, real craftsmanship. But over the last few months, something changed. Her new team at work was younger, louder, more image-conscious. They went to launch parties, stayed out late at members-only lounges, and dated men who introduced themselves by their job titles first. Suddenly my warehouse smelled industrial. My flannel shirts were too Pacific Northwest, and my refusal to lease a flashy office downtown was playing small. We shared my loft apartment, an open, airy space I'd bought and renovated myself in a converted textile mill. Exposed brick, huge windows, rooftop access. Lauren had loved it at first. Then her friends started visiting and making little comments. "It's cute," one said, "but imagine living in the new glass tower on 14th. The views are insane." Lauren began echoing them. "It's not about the money, Ethan. It's about energy, about being around ambition." I tried to brush it off. I was busy scaling production, hiring 2 new staff, negotiating a bigger contract with a regional chain. I figured she was just stressed from a big client pitch. Then came the invitation to the rooftop gathering. Lauren texted me Friday afternoon, "Team happy hour tonight at Sky Garden. You should come. Everyone's bringing their partners." I almost said no. I had an early roast scheduled Saturday, but I wanted to support her. I showered, put on the one nice button-down I own, and showed up around 8. The place was packed with beautiful people in tailored clothes. Lauren spotted me near the entrance and waved me over to a corner table already crowded with cocktails and laughter. "This is Ethan," she introduced, her hand barely touching my arm. "He does coffee." Her coworker Jenna tilted her head. "Like, barista?" "No, he owns a roasting company," Lauren clarified quickly. "Wholesale beans and stuff." "Cool," said Jenna's boyfriend, Ryan, who worked in venture capital. "Niche market, right?" The conversation drifted to their recent group trip to Tulum. Private villas, chef-prepared meals, sunrise yoga on the beach. Lauren lit up talking about it. I listened, sipping my beer, enjoying the skyline view. Then Ryan mentioned he'd just closed a seed round for a new app. His friend Marcus, dating another designer named Claire, talked about his role at a fintech startup. Equity package, potential IPO in 2 years. Everyone nodded appreciatively. Someone asked what my 5-year plan looked like. I told them honestly, Expand the roastery, open a flagship cafe with tasting room, maybe start exporting to Japan where specialty coffee is booming. Lauren laughed, a sharp, embarrassed sound. He says that, but really he just wants to keep doing the same thing forever. No big risks, no real growth. The table went quiet for a beat. I raised an eyebrow. I think steady growth is real growth. She waved a hand. It's different when your friends are building unicorns and you're roasting beans in a warehouse. Jenna tried to smooth it over. Coffee is huge right now. Everyone's into third wave stuff. But Lauren wasn't done. It's not about the product. It's about scale. Ambition. Ethan's comfortable staying small. Marcus leaned forward. Nothing wrong with lifestyle business. Lauren shot him a look. Exactly. Lifestyle. Not legacy. I felt heat rising in my chest, but I kept my voice even. I'm employing 8 people now with health benefits. We turned profit every quarter last year. That's not nothing. She rolled her eyes again. That same dismissive flick that had started appearing at home. Money isn't the point. It's the vision, the network, the presence. Ryan chuckled awkwardly. Claire sipped her drink and looked away. Then Lauren turned to me directly, voice carrying over the music. Honestly, Ethan can't even plan a proper weekend away, let alone build anything that lasts. The words landed hard. Jenna's mouth formed a small O. Marcus stared at his phone suddenly. I felt every pair of eyes on me. My pulse thudded in my ears, but I didn't raise my voice. I just nodded once, like I was confirming something to myself. I set my empty bottle down, caught the server's eye, and asked for my check. Lauren watched, confused. What are you doing? Heading home, I said simply. Long day tomorrow. You're leaving? Just like that. Seems like the right moment. I signed for my single beer, left cash for the tip, and walked away. No dramatic speech, no storming off. Just gone. The elevator ride down felt longer than usual. Outside, the night air was cool. I drove home listening to an old playlist, windows down, letting the city blur past. By the time I got to the loft, the adrenaline had faded into something calmer, relief, maybe. Clarity. I was halfway through a sandwich when my phone started lighting up. Texts from Lauren. I'm sorry. I drank too much. That came out wrong. Everyone's asking where you went. Are you mad? I didn't reply. I finished eating, took a shower, and went to bed. The next morning, she'd left a voicemail, voice thick with tears, saying she was staying at Jenna's for a few days so I could process. I listened once, then deleted it. Sunday, I drove out to the roastery even though it was technically closed. Spent the day reorganizing storage, cupping new samples from Ethiopia, sketching layouts for the future cafe. Work grounded me. Monday afternoon, I stopped at the farmer's market for produce. That's when I saw Sophie. We'd gone to college together, shared a marketing class sophomore year, stayed loosely in touch through mutual friends. She'd moved away after graduation to work in nonprofit communications, but apparently she was back. Ethan, she smiled wide, holding a basket of greens. I thought that was you. We ended up talking for almost an hour under the tents, catching up on jobs, family, travel. She'd just taken a job as outreach director for a local environmental foundation. Passionate, grounded, quick to laugh. You still roasting? She asked. More than ever. That's incredible. I still remember your final presentation. Coffee as community. You were so into it. I laughed. Still am. We exchanged numbers. We should catch up properly, she said. Coffee, obviously. Obviously. Tuesday evening, we met at a quiet wine bar near the river. Conversation flowed easily. No awkward pauses. No performative energy. She asked real questions about the business, listened intently when I described the new single origin lines. That kind of intentionality is rare, she said. Building something meaningful. I felt myself relax in a way I hadn't in months. Wednesday, she came over for dinner. I cooked pasta with vegetables from the market, opened a bottle of natural wine. She walked around the loft slowly, admiring the light, the plants, the view. This place is stunning, she said. You did all the finish work yourself? Most of it. That's real skill. And taste. Lauren used to call the exposed beams rustic with a slight grimace. Sophie ran her hand along one like it was art. Thursday, Lauren texted, "Can we talk? I miss you. I left it on read." Friday, my mom called. Lauren had apparently reached out to her too. Something about wanting advice. Mom didn't mince words. "I told her if she couldn't see what a good man you are, that's her loss, and that you were raised to value substance over show." I smiled. "Thanks, Mom." Saturday night, Sophie and I went to a concert in the park. Blanket, picnic, string lights overhead. She rested her head on my shoulder during the slow songs. Felt easy, right? The following Friday, exactly 2 weeks after the rooftop scene, I was in the kitchen making tea when the intercom buzzed. I assumed it was the takeout I'd ordered with Sophie. We'd planned a movie night and I opened the door without checking the camera. Lauren stood there in the hallway, eyes red, overnight bag slung over her shoulder and a suitcase beside her. "Ethan," she said, voice breaking, "I've been thinking nonstop. I was awful. I know that. Please let me come home." I blinked, processing. "Lauren." I talked to Jenna and Claire. They both said I humiliated you. I was showing off, trying to seem cool in front of them. I didn't mean any of it. Footsteps sounded on the stairs behind her. Sophie appeared, carrying a paper bag of Thai food and a bottle of sparkling water, hair tied back, smiling until she saw the scene. Lauren turned, took in the other woman, then looked back at me. "Who's this?" "Sophie," I said. "We're seeing each other." Sophie paused a few steps below, reading the situation. She climbed the rest slowly, stood beside me. "Hi," she said gently to Lauren. "I'm Sophie." Lauren's face crumpled. "Seeing each other? Already? About 2 weeks," I answered. Sophie glanced at me, questioning. I gave a small nod. "She could stay." Lauren's voice rose. "Ethan, we have a year together. A home. You can't just—" "We had a home," I corrected quietly. "You made it clear what you thought of my life, my work, my vision. I was wrong. I see that now. Everyone sees it. I'll tell people how amazing your company is. You'll what? Change your opinion because your friends told you to? Or because you realized the rent downtown is insane without my half?" She flinched. Sophie shifted the bag to her other hand. "I can come back later if you two need to talk." "No," I said. "Stay. This won't take long." Lauren wiped her eyes. "We can fix this. I love you." I looked at her for a long moment. "You love the idea of a certain kind of life, one that looks good in photos. But you look down on the life I've built, the one that actually supports us. That's not something you flip overnight." "It's not about the money," she started. "It never was for me," I said. "But it became everything for you." She stood there another minute, tears falling silently. Finally, she picked up her suitcase. "I guess I got what I deserved," she whispered. Then she left. Sophie and I went inside. I told her the whole story over pad thai on the couch. She listened without judgment. "She diminished something you're proud of," Sophie said when I finished. "That's not love. That's insecurity wearing love's clothes." I nodded, feeling the weight lift a little more. 6 weeks have passed since then. Sophie and I are together now. Official, steady, happy. She brags about my coffee to anyone who will listen, brings friends to the roastery for tours, posts photos of the new cafe built out with genuine excitement. Lauren tried calling twice more. I didn't answer. Eventually, Jenna reached out through a mutual friend to apologize on behalf of the group. Said Lauren had moved back in with her parents temporarily. Couldn't swing rent on her salary alone in the neighborhoods she wanted. Last week, I saw Ryan at a networking event for local entrepreneurs. He came over, looking sheepish. "Hey man, about that night on the roof." Lauren was way out of line. "And honestly, your numbers are impressive. We looked up your roastery afterward. Solid growth." "Thanks," I said. "Appreciate it." For what it's worth, she's been pretty quiet at work lately. Keeps to herself. I shrugged. "Some lessons are expensive." He nodded, understanding. "The truth is, I don't feel angry anymore. I feel grateful. Grateful I saw the truth before deeper commitments. Grateful for the business I've built with my own hands and choices. Grateful for someone new who looks at my life and says, "This is beautiful," and means it. Sometimes the clearest endings are the ones that feel quietest in the moment. You pay your tab, walk away, and let the rest sort itself out. And sometimes the best new beginning is waiting just outside the door with Thai food and a kind smile.